Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 cents for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait and you'll see. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try to catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom, boom, boom. Major look.
Yeah, once again, thanks for tuning in. You listening to World Combat Sports. Salute each and every one of you that's tuned in, the supporters. I see Michael Johnson Boxing talking more on deck. Appreciate you pulling up, my brother. That's what's good. Appreciate the supporters, the everyday supporters that tune in when I'm going live. I appreciate it if you hit that care button, you know what I'm saying, the like and share button, sub to the channel. If you choose to donate, all that's appreciated in full. I also want to give a shout out to the boxing universe. We're on the eve on a big heavyweight fight that's going down. I've been waiting till the fight get closer to speak on it. You know, not just to burn it up, but you know, just to give it that extra needed light when it gets closer to the fight night. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I want to go over some big fights that's on the card. As you remember, before it was going to be like a heavyweight affair, you know, and it's pretty much the same. You know, thank God they was able to keep those big names on the card. Of course, you had the main event of the current champion or the current participant who's holding the belt, Tyson Fury. He's 30-1, and the challenger would be Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, 42-1-1. They're the main event of that card that will be taking place October 9th, T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, co-main event I'm looking forward to also. You have Robert Helenius, 30-3. Hold on for a second.
Ideas and to achieve.
Hold on for a second.
With 100%.
No, we're not doing that. So, what is this, man? We have Robert Helenius, 30-3-0, going in there against Adam Konoski. As you probably remember, they had a fight previously where, you know, people was underestimating Helenius. You know what I'm saying? They looked at him as this unknown fighter without recognizing, you know, the skills that he possessed and his height, range, all of that, toughness. And Helenius went in there and put a good one, you know, a good whooping on Adam Konoski. And Adam was coming up. I've talked to Adam before, you know, good guy. You know, he's had his success, but you just can't say, you know, you have your success against Charles Martin. You got to keep that going. And Adam Konoski is looking to get that revenge against Robert Helenius. Um, I'm saying to myself, I believe that Robert Helenius possibly get it done again. You know what I'm saying? I believe he hands Adam Konoski his second loss in the rematch. Stylistically, man, Robert Helenius is just tall. Just like Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. They're just tall. I mean, he's just a tall individual. He matches up well height wise with the Deontay Wilder and Tyson Furies. Um, on the next fight, heavyweight, you have Efe Ajagba, 15-0 against Frank Sanchez. A big part of me is looking at Sanchez is pulling this fight out and handing Efe Ajagba not an upset, but his first loss. It's according to how Frank Sanchez fights, man. This is a very good matchup for Efe, who changed promotions, and they put him in there with an undefeated fighter in Frank Sanchez. To me, he still has work to do. Fa. Um, at one point in time, he was too much worried about what Deontay Wilder was wearing. Africans love to sit up here and talk about so-called African Americans. They feel like we don't have no part of history because we're not from where they're from. I just want him to, focus on Frank Sanchez right now. You know what I'm saying? Focus on Frank Sanchez, because your last knockout, anyone can go in a Macy's freaking warehouse and they have some old mannequins standing there, closed down from the pandemic, and go knock out a mannequin. That dude was just standing in front of F.A. Jogba, and he took advantage of it. It wasn't anything special about it. He knocked him out. You know what I'm saying? You have Robisa Ramirez and Orlando Gonzalez Ruiz, featherweight bout. Robisa Ramirez is 7-1, and Orlando Ruiz is 17-0. An experience different, right? Difference between them. But in boxing, it don't matter too much. It's just all about, the faith of your team having you to go in there and fight someone. They look at this record to see if it's some soft touches. You know how it goes. And then we have the hard-hitting Edgar Berlanga, 17-0 himself, going in there against Marcelo Caceres, 30-2-1. I'm looking forward to that one. Edgar Berlanga can settle down now. He don't have to worry about knocking everybody out in the first round. He went the distance. He fought Damon Nichols, and he knocked him down several times, but it was a good fight. I'm pretty sure Berlanga learned a lot in that fight. He went the distance. He learned he's going to have a bit more patience now. He totally understands what he needs to do throughout the fight. It wasn't like he was gassing out anything, but he was predictable. He was steadily trying to, slide that right post back, posting up on that right leg, and trying to sit down on his punches with the overhand right. And you got to get away with that. You got to box. You got to learn how to be unpredictable instead of just allowing somebody, to increase their volume of punches on you on the inside, and then the only thing you can do is just post up heavy on on your legs and sit down on the punch and shoot your power shots. You got to box. Super welterweight, of course, you have Julian Williams back in the fray against Vladimir Hernandez, who's 12-4. Julian Williams is 27-2-1. So salute to Julian Williams getting back in the square. And then you have a future heavyweight potential when it comes to stars. He has the potential. He's not one now, but he has potential. And that is Jared Anderson. He's going there against Vladimir Tereshkin. I don't know. Tereshkin. So Jared Anderson is 9-0, of course. The much more experience from Vladimir is 22-0-1. Of course, you have to look at the record and everything. And I think it's a good box rec they have on Jared Anderson's resume. I'm looking forward to the fight. Jared Anderson, in my opinion, still have a lot to prove. I know a lot of people are hyping him up. I'm not just all the way sold on his cardio. I'm not sold on his overall skill set being in the heavyweight division, period. You know, I mean, he definitely have to know how to switch it up, improvise, make changes, and show that he's that lethal American heavyweight that we look forward to seeing. It's gonna be tough, to be honest. You know, once he increases his competition, but with the changing of the guard and everything in the next 4 or 5 years, you're gonna see, Jared, if he keeps on winning, along with some other fighters, he'll get closer to a title shot. But right now, he's very much off the radar to even be considered that. But he is an American fighter, okay, and he does have a future. And not to mention Elvis Rodriguez, he's 11-1. He's coming off his first loss. Different promotion now. Look forward to seeing him get back in the square. Andrew Charles on deck. What's good? Salute to you, my brother. Sanchez might not get something for. Sanchez might got something for FA. I think he does there, Andrew. I think he definitely has something for FA. Elder boxing in the building on deck. Salute, man. It's a super solid undercard. I think I like all them young prospects. Yes, sir. I do too. I totally understand. Anthony Joshua had something to say. Um, Anthony Joshua of all people. Now, let me provide some clarity to why Anthony Joshua is gracing my title once again, which um is out of the norm for me to speak so much on Anthony Joshua when Deontay Wilder's fight is coming up. Because, I just look at it like it would have been great if he was the name that was standing across the ring, but he isn't. Anthony Joshua predicts Deontay Wilder KOs Tyson Fury in trilogy fight on October 9th. So now I'm not the person to get up here and say you don't have a right to change your mind, but it wasn't too long ago where Anthony Joshua was the dance partner on Sesame Street with Tyson Fury trying to convince us, the boxing crowd, that they had a fight coming up in August. It wasn't too long ago when Anthony Joshua was up here saying that he wanted to help Tyson Fury train for Deontay Wilder's rematch. Isn't that what you said, Joshua? You was that guy. You was trying to be complicit to helping out Tyson Fury train for Deontay Wilder, which I'm not sure what you had to offer, to be honest. I'm not sure what you would have given. Just some move around work. Anyway, moving on. Joshua feels that Wilder, 42-1-1, 41 knockouts, is so focused for this third fight on winning, and he's ready to scalp a distracted Fury who's 30 victories, 0 defeats, 1 draw, and 21 by way of knockout. So Joshua is feeling that Fury is distracted. Okay. It's been that way for quite some time. We understand that Fury is one of those grimy street type individuals that's playing the role of a boxer. You know what I'm saying? I call him Tyson Asterisk Fury. That's Tyson Asterisk Fury. It's an asterisk in the middle of his name because he's cheated when he won the unified titles, and he cheated when he won the WBC title. That's Tyson Asterisk Fury right there, period. His basketball career is stained forever. Anthony Joshua goes on to say this. He seemed obsessed, like he really wants it. He seemed really focused on the task ahead. A focused man is a dangerous man. He's focused. It has to be a knockout, said Joshua to the Sun, and predicting a knockout victory for Deontay Wilder over Tyson Fury on October 9th. Now, let me reread just a little bit. He said he seems obsessed, like he really wants it. Now, he's talking about Deontay Wilder, right? And I look at this like, was he not seeming like he wanted to defend his title for an 11th time the first time. So I know how people are thinking right now when they seeing these videos of him and Malik Scott training, and they see the fun with them in there, with their training regime making changes and how well their dynamic is linking up. You know what I'm saying? People are looking at that seriously now. They say they having fun. And then when you having fun training, that's dangerous, especially for a man like Deontay Wilder with the heaviest hands in the sport right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just something you got to pay attention to. He's having fun training to go back in a trilogy with the individual who took his belt. Not to forget, through the eye of controversy, he was able to lift the belt through everything that happened that night. It goes on to say Wilder might get the decision. Actually, no, it has to be a knockout. One of them will knock the other out, said Joshua, making it clear that Deontay Wilder needs a knockout to get the win over Fury. I agree. Deontay Wilder doesn't need to allow this to go to the scorecard. And we have all those judges that love putting it 117, 111. You know what I'm saying? We don't need any of that. We need a clear, concise victory of what a knockout stoppage is. People seem to think that Deontay Wilder was knocked out his last fight, and it was stopped to that. He wasn't. The fight was stopped by the towel coming into the ring, which contributes to Tyson Fury's lack of celebration that you can add to his boxing career in his lifetime. The way he won his titles and the way the biggest match of his career was stopped. It was stopped by a towel which, has been an extensive depth of controversy around as to why the towel was actually tossed in there after the order was given not to throw the towel in. And then, among other things dealing with the water, we know the entire backstory. But that's the weakest stoppage you can get, a towel coming into the ring. Deontay Wilder was still standing tall. He was on his feet, and he landed the left hand before Kenny Bailey stepped in and stopped the fight. And even at that time, he was coherent enough to argue with Kenny Bailey and say, what are you doing? No, that's wrong. He thought he was being robbed. But in actuality, he was being robbed. He was robbed of a turning point in the boxing match, potentially, for him. He came in there with his body feeling a certain type of way. He wasn't as strong as he's usually. He wasn't feeling, as comfortable. His muscles wasn't together. His balance wasn't there. His whole equilibrium and stability was off, right? That's fair to say, right? So for him to fight on the way he did, I think the 7th round to the 12th, it would have been different. It would have been different. And I don't want to start no if, shoulda, coulda, but I believe if that fight would have went on the 7th to the 12th round, would have been different. Potentially his body might have been filtering out whatever it was during the first 6 rounds. You know what I'm saying? And you say it's a super solid undercard. I think I like all them young prospects. She, we here on deck. What's good, she? Deshaun Thompson on deck. I'm seeing you in a minute, man. What's good? I like them too. But all I'm waiting for is Fury being KO like Pacquiao versus Marquez. Yeah, man. It would be good if he can go down face first. But I want him on his back so he can go to the upper room, a lot easier this time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's good to see someone's soul leave their body when they're laying on their back. You know what I'm saying? You get to see their eyes closed. You get to see all the little demons come out and slap Fury around. Talking about, God damn it, we told you you are not permitted to return. And you back already. Yeah, it's time to send him to the upper room again. AJ knows his time is coming too. Yes, sir. Easy work, boxing on deck. What's good, easy work? What you been up to, man? So AJ has said what he said. to the sun and predicting a knockout victory over Deontay Wilder. Victory for Deontay Wilder over Tyson Fury on October 9th. I agree. This is undeniably different. I agree that Deontay Wilder is motivated as usual, but more so now with everything has been transpiring since February 22nd last year. He has a lot going on at that time. And he earned a big victory out of the ring. And when that decision came down from the arbitration, Fury ducked out of 2 fights. Of course, people want to be nice about his daughter getting sick and everything. Don't get mad at me and put stuff in my inbox when a dirtbag continue to treat people and try to take their career away. And then when something come up with his daughter to say, "Oh, we need to show some respect and all that," we are showing respect. We're talking about Fury. That's the respect. That man shows absolutely no respect. So I'm looking at it like if it was me, I'm pretty sure people were saying, "Well, he keep on fucking people over. That's what he get." So don't come to me, acting like just because this man's daughter got, a situation, Fury ain't did tenfold to get something that deals with an ominous result. You know what I'm saying? He should have some burdens, and weighing on his shoulders heavy when you're cheating and trying to take a man and put him in a wheelchair. When you're trying to put him in a state of mind like Adonis Stevenson, Jerry McLean, you know what I'm saying? Preacher Cologne. Why are you gonna sit up here and try to sit up and praise somebody for that? Anyway, moving on. He said Wilder might get the decision. Actually, no, it has to be a knockout. I'm pretty sure every intention of Wilder's fiber, he's going in there to destroy Fury. What I've seen of someone that said his grandma said he was anointed was that he was blessed with the God-gifted power to knock a man out. Not only knock a man out, but he was blessed to be able to fight through the normal format of boxing and earn a bronze medal with just a short amateur background. He was blessed. He had to have some type of anointment to get that shit done. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. To not mirror the physical aesthetics of the boxers of our pastime that we glorify so much, like the Tysons, you know what I'm saying? Like the Larry Holmes, the Muhammad Ali's, Ike Ibuchi, so many other heavyweights. He don't have that frame, but he possessed an incredible amount of power to go with that structure. And it does remind me of the 50 cal weapon. 50 cal is straight up destruction. So Tyson Fury, he knows that already. He's been on the front end of that flash, that muzzle flash, and he ain't trying to be there again. That muzzle flash from a 50 cal is something serious. Let's keep going. So my big question is, let me move on. My big question to Joshua. Joshua said, let me find it. And this is the last quote that I'm quoting for Anthony Joshua. We want to definitely hold him to something, but it's difficult because Joshua is the biggest heavyweight ducker in the game. Let me see. What I wanted to just mention briefly was that Joshua mentioned that if Tyson Fury doesn't want to fight him after he win, he wants to fight the likes of Dillian White, Derek Chisora, and then Wilder. And that's why I'm always criticizing Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? He's the happiest when he around Eddie Hearn fighting somebody that he's pretty sure he's gonna beat. He was pretty happy with having a a heavyweight leprechaun over there in Oleksandr Usyk. And he just felt good. He was shadow boxing and all that. But I always say to myself, will he have the same smile and energy if it was Wilder over there? You know what I'm saying? Will he ever step in the ring with Wilder when that WBC title is back in the hands of Deontay Wilder? And then people start talking about undisputed. They won't have a choice anymore unless the cowards and the hoes that come around here and say, well, Deontay Wilder don't deserve a fight with Anthony Joshua, then we need to really consider pulling in Anthony Joshua, because it's going to take a lot of y'all, his cheerleaders, to put down the pom-poms, pull in Anthony Joshua, and let's see if he's able to fight Deontay Wilder. That's all I have for Joshua. And that's too much. October 9th is going down, people. I'm looking forward to it. As you read, it's 16 days for historic heavyweight clash. But primarily, I'm looking at Deontay Wilder being in the perfect time right now, with every star aligning for him. The reason why I'm saying the stars are aligned for Deontay Wilder legendary status is there's been so much controversy. There's been so much controversy in another top tier heavyweight that he chose to fight more than once. It's been a lot of controversy, right? So now Deontay Wilder is prime to get back in there after a third delay. I mean, after the second delay, to get back in there for a third fight with a top two heavyweight in the sport. And he has a lot that he needs to make sure he takes care of. A lot that he's not going to be able to see. He definitely, him and his team need to make sure their security is extra, super tight. They need to make sure they have their own water for the entire week. They need to make sure that the food is absolutely on point. I'm not worrying about the training. I know him and Malik is in the lab working, and he's going to come in there looking much sharper than he did the first time. Granted, he makes it to the ring with that bronze bomber spirit that we used to seeing. It's going to be a straight annihilation. Harm will be dealt to only one person in that square that night. His name will be Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder is set for a legendary status, y'all, to get his title back, to regain his title, and to set himself up to call out Anthony Joshua. Dillian White shouldn't get in a fight, but Deontay Wilder goes in there and defeats Tyson Fury. That trilogy should be deaded. It should be over in the BFTV's graveyard. I'm pretty sure he's going to do a live on it. But this right here should be a televised burial. You know, we need to send him over there to the graveyard for a burial. Deontay Wilder goes up there, hopefully, get enough energy from his new profound fans to call out Anthony Joshua for one of the biggest fights. We want the same numbers that they was talking about with Tyson. We want those same numbers. We want the same numbers. Y'all talking 100 million? Okay, get 100 million. Shit, listen, you talking about Saudi? Go get Saudi. Let's go over there. Deontay Wilder and freaking Anthony Joshua. Anthony handling his business against Oleksandr Usyk. Come on, let's get it in, man. Let's get this fight in. It's time. It's time for Deontay to become undisputed heavyweight champion. And you know what that does to the history. Just because he's tied fifth for the defenses, we're going to expound upon that. We're going to build upon that history making, from the champ. That's what we're talking about. King Mitch on deck. What's good with you? Say comeback. What up? What's good? I think Usyk has a chance. I do too, Mitch. I think Usyk has a chance to split the ropes and get knocked out. I do. I feel you on that. I feel you. I hope he come in there looking weird as he possibly can, and when that steel frame hit, when I just think something. I'm not gonna predict anything from a robot. A robot can start twitching and stuff and glitching. I don't know what robotic Anthony Joshua is gonna look, but I believe he has what it takes to defeat Alexander Usyk. I'm not sold on him. I think he's overrated for sure in the heavyweight division. People are hyping him up because he's the BFF of Vasyl Lomachenko. And, they want to compare these two together to build them up. Vasyl Lomachenko failed. And Alexander Usyk is only a fight or two away from taking his first loss, period. I do. I feel he's an overrated fighter. He may be a good guy, but he's an overrated fighter. Back to the Bomb Squad Nation. If you all, most of y'all in the chat, I know y'all rock with the Bomb Squad, you know what I'm saying? But check this out though. What needs to happen this time? Because the fight is a mere 16 days away, right? What I'm asking you all to do is, for those of you to support, this don't pertain to you, but those who don't, just understand how important it is for Deontay Wilder to have shown you how much desire he has to step back in the ring. Even after coming off a brutal fight as he did February 22nd, he still took it to court to step back in there. He didn't run away. And he didn't bow out and say, I don't want any step aside money. He didn't care. He wanted one thing. He was fighting for one end state, y'all. His end state was to get the fight with Tyson Fury. When other people like Bob Arum and a plethora of other voices, they were saying, oh, October is come and gone. It's expired. We can't do anything about that. It is what it is. Knowing good and damn well, in another sentence, it was said that Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder could not fight without an audience. So how can he just throw away an opportunity that's contractually written and official? How can you just say, okay, the pandemic that ruined everything and we can't make it happen? I want y'all to understand how much fighting he has already done since 2020 to 2021. One thing you cannot say is that he was ever scared to step back in the ring with Tyson Fury. What you can identify is that you can put that claim on Tyson Fury for him ducking out with a fake ass COVID claim. The truth to that is to be questioned. But also I want those who may be naysayers and stuff to understand one thing. Give it a shot to support the heavyweight champ going back in, because this is a historic fight for the heavyweight champ, for the American heavyweight. This is a story because the only other American heavyweight we have right now that has a WBA regular fight, he'll good dude is Trevor Bryan. I interviewed him before. Shout out to 808. Good dude. No one's gonna give him recognition because he's not a big name like the rest. He's a Don King fighter, but he does hold the WBA regular title, heavyweight title. But right now, the heavyweight champion that we knew for years, this past 5 years, with Deontay Wilder, American. So we look for him to regain that. So just take it within yourself and hold yourself accountable and true to support him. to understand that, okay, you may have felt that he was this person, that person, all that. But what have you learned from the time he lost February 22nd to when he stepped in the ring again October 9th? You should have learned a lot about him before then. So go in there and support him. Get the PPV. You know what I'm saying? Have a fight party. We really need to increase the amount of American boxing fans that chose to turn their backs on him when he was going in there for Fury on the rematch. So basically, you received what you wanted, but it wasn't how you wanted. You're not satisfied because you know your boy cheated. You know your boy cheated. And it sent YouTube through a whirlwind because there was so many people when Deontay never missed his words and he was vocal. You know what I'm saying? He was outspoken about what he felt. And being that Mark Breland's name came up in the conversation, then we have all these opportunists going around trying to act like they love Mark Breland. And you know who you are. Those of you that didn't want to talk to me no more, you know who you are. All because of Deontay Wilder. Man, come on, man. It doesn't make any sense, man. You know, people made the commitment to become Wilder bashers. So people who actually support the fighter, they couldn't communicate with him no more. And that to me is good because you did my work for me. There's no need for you to hang around the channel and you feel a certain way and won't speak on it. One thing I can say, I'm not persuaded either or by anyone. Those individuals have to understand one thing. It's time. It's time. October 9th. It's time. Vegas going to be turned up, lit once again. T-Mobile Arena. We got a hellified fight card. And not to mention the main card. Oh, man. It's going to be fire. I'm not sure how many YouTube channels, boxing channels are going to be on deck. I'm not sure. I know when the rematch was on deck, I mean, for the first scheduling of the trilogy was on deck, it was a lot of us that was going to be there. But I'm not sure as to the numbers right now. Because it'd be great to have some of these solid media platforms in present on deck, present, and get some media stuff done, some pictures and stuff like that. Unity amongst men that speak this boxing, and it will be great. 21 strong on deck. Salute, man. WCS, my main man. Salute. Appreciate you, man. Troy's in the building. Yeah, I know. Thanks for putting that out. We all know he's a former champion, which happened to be on the tail end of a cheating scandal. You know what I'm saying? So that we know. But basically, be sure to get that support set up the fight night. I'm going to transition those on and speak on some of the snippets that was taken from Deontay Wilder's virtual media press conference that he had. All right. Deontay basically mentioned point blank. He said, "I want payback in blood." Now I don't know how much that needs to be underscored or the volume turned up because I'm speaking kind of low myself. I don't need to yell that. I want payback in blood. I want payback back in blood, said Wilder on October 9th. I will get my revenge. It's eye for an eye. Hey man, the man saying it's eye for an eye. When I hear that, I'm putting it together like you try to kill me, I'm gonna kill you. That's what I'm getting for him from Wilder. And he has every right to say that. Every right. The man tried to take his life and his career by cheating. So of course he needs to put those words out there. Moving on. Deontay Wilder said, "I feel amazing. It's past excellence or excellent. And this time that has passed has been great for me. With the more time that passed, we've been able to work on different little things and perfect them. You can't always be perfect, but that doesn't mean you can't train to be perfect. Talk to him. He said you can't always be perfect, but that doesn't mean you can't train to be perfect. Talk that talk there, Wilder. Talk that talk. Malik Scott is a beautiful person and trainer. We met years ago sparring with um, Thomas Adamick, and we clicked right away, and we formed a natural bond and brotherhood. I have so much love around me in this camp, and that I'm dwelling on anything, and I'm not dwelling on anything negative. That's good. That's solid. Because what a lot of people are disliking or not appreciating about this tandem, this new boxing training tandem between Malik Scott and Deontay Wilder, is the fact that they're praising one another for the work and they're getting along while they're working. They're praising one another in public. And it definitely seems genuine. You know what I'm saying? It seems genuine. And then they're putting the videos out there and they're having fun training for a body. They're having fun training for a body. Yes, sir. That's what it is. We're having fun while learning and creating things together during training camp. That's just the passion that we have to become a two-time heavyweight champ of the world. I'm super focused. I'm more focused now than I've ever been in my entire career. This is the second phase of my career. And not to mention, Deontay is 35 years old, just took over a year and a half off. So, that's some preservation that goes into his body. He goes on to say, and I had fun winning and defending the title for 5 years. At this point, we're just serious about everything. I'm in a happy place, and I'm glad that I'm there. They say that things happen for a reason, and that we don't understand that the reason until we get to a particular place in life. Then we know it. My whole team understands everything that has happened, and we're looking forward. The delay was a blessing for me. The more they delayed it, the more time we had to work on my craft and art, along with strategically going over the game plan we're going to have on October 9th. It was frustrating because I was ready to go, and this is the longest I've been out of the ring. There's something about the ring that calls you and draws you back, but I've used the time and benefit tremendously. I appreciate the love from my true fans. I've received so many messages from people from all walks of life. Now we're back again for redemption and retaliation on October 9th. The Bomb Squad is back. Now, with those words etched in the mind of his fans, etched in the minds of those individuals who we consider non-supporters or naysayers, they will all come together on October 9th and get this fight. They will all come together. Whether you support them or you don't, you're going to tune into the fight because it's worthy. The price tag on this fight is absolutely warranted as one of the best heavyweight fights in history. And also it allows Deontay Wilder to go in there and regain his title, which that's going to happen. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Tyson's not going to be able to cheat. He's not going to be able to go in there and smack hands with Deontay Wilder and talk and joke while he tried to switch out a box of water behind his back. It's not going to be none of that. It's not going to be walking around in the casino, you know what I'm saying? Playing on the slot machines. We better not hear no COVID anything. You vaccinated now, right? Both fighters should be vaccinated. We shouldn't hear any of that COVID. I believe Tyson Fury is absolutely scared. Let me let you listen to audio of Tyson Fury, and you tell me what you think.
You have a couple more months to prepare for this fight. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, but how do you look at the extra time?
I didn't use it. I took a month off after I got COVID. Why do I need to prepare for a bum like Wilder anyway? I could fight him on 3 days' notice at fucking 400 pounds and still knock the pussy out.
Do you?
Not an excuse maker. Piece of shit bum fuckstick. That's what Wilder is. I don't even know if you can swear on this fucking interview.
You can.
I'm going, all right!
That's Tyson Fury. He said he can fight him on, 4 days' notice. It doesn't make a difference. But all I have to say is, I don't know what the temperature is going to be like in there. And Tyson Fury is pretty much saying that he don't need to train for Wilder. He see the videos. He knows what's coming. And like I said before, it's getting cold around certain regions, so they might have the heat up a little bit. So when Deontay Wilder start, touching them to that cookie dough body, right? The shit might start leaking out, and he might go from Tyson Fury to the gingerbread man. For real. This is according to how much the heat is turned up in there. Deontay might land some hooks to the body. And you know how Tyson Fury has all those side pouches with that chocolate chip cookie dough. That shit might start to leak. And before you know it, the camera zooms back in and we're looking at the gingerbread man. For real. With chocolate chips. It may potentially happen. I've never seen someone that's shaped like an overcooked grain of rice. For real. And that might be a problem on that night because we know Deontay Wilder's been training. And Tyson Fury told me himself that he was in Miami partying. I truly believe after this fight right now, it might be the curtains for Tyson Fury. It might be curtains. He may be absolutely fighting the second tier heavyweights in the game if he chooses to stay in the sport. If not, he may just get out. Because this is going to be detrimental to Tyson Fury point blank. This is going to be up close and personal. And people can talk about the right hand all they want. But they know damn well the right hand that he experienced in the rematch was not being fired off from a healthy Deontay Wilder. And that's facts. So however you want to choose to receive it, it's fact. 21 strong. So I believe Wilder is going to be different and super focused this time. Around it will be the left hook that does the damage. Then the hammer will stop it. I totally agree, man. Just for him doubling up and increasing his volume, his punch volume, and just the placement of the punches. You imagine somebody generating the correct power to place a punch, not once, not once, but twice in the same area with those heavy hands. It's gonna break Fury down if Deontay Wilder comes out there with a body attack. It's gonna break him down. It's gonna break him down, man. He start touching him in that soft ass body, and then go up top. Oh, it's gonna be crucial. It's gonna be seriously a lead up to his demise. And it's hard for some people to even talk about Tyson Fury demise. They know he out here fucking up. They know, it's been said that he was having problems in sparring. But I don't hear enough people talking about it. We need to talk about the videos that we are seeing with Malik Scott and Deontay Wilder. And also we need to talk about the videos we aren't seeing with Tyson Fury and whoever's over there sparring him. Whether it's Jared Anderson, whether it's freaking, I don't know, whoever it is over there. If he was getting hurt or whatever in sparring, I mean, we're not seeing anything. If he can beat him on 4 days notice, you should have been putting out your sparring. I'm not sparring. You should have put out your training. Some training vids so your fans can see. But we ain't seeing anything. I mean, America's supposed to love Tyson Fury, right? Why are you depriving your American fans from seeing you train? I haven't seen no road videos of you or your brother and your team out on the road running 50 yards from the camera. 50 yards for the camera, get some footage, and then stop, hop in the van, and go back to the house. I haven't seen any of that. what I've seen a reinvented, as Deontay Wilder said. I do see him looking much more sharper. He's always looked lethal, always been in shape. Whether he gained muscle mass or not, he does look a lot bigger. But I'm curious to see what weight he's gonna come in this time. Is it gonna be in the 230 still or whatever? Regardless, I think with the way he's been training, it's not gonna matter. I think he's gonna wear that weight really nice this time. Anyone knows the best app to beat on Wilder? I'm not sure what you meant by that, Deshaun. I don't know what you meant by that. Let me move on right quick. Deontay Wilder said, "This hands down been the best trainer I've had in my entire career. Sometimes you need events to happen in life to bring about changes that you need. We've had no distractions, and I'm just in a happy state mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. I'm just in a happy state mentally. Apart from what everything was said that he was damn near in an asylum. Physically, that's dangerous. Injury free, feeling good. Everything's healed. Training the right way, emotionally and spiritually. So the question is, which was just talked about, and it's been making its rounds, is what is he going to wear to the ring? I'm sure it's going to be something representing who he is as a man in life, what he represents as far as his people. That's what he's going to wear to the ring. I'm not really caring about how much it weighs or none of that, because people blew that out of proportion. Look, if you have water contaminated and it's a muscle relaxer or whatever it was, if you put something on that you used to lifting or carrying around, it's going to feel much heavier. Your legs are going to be weighed. Your legs going to be feeling a little bit unstable, of course. So it makes sense to him saying due to the circumstance. The circumstance was he was drugged. That was the circumstance. So I'm just making it clear. Due to the circumstance, he was drugged. So, of course, his legs felt heavy in the suit. Now, what he's wearing to the ring this time, he just gave a hint of what it potentially may be. But let's make it clear. WCS does not care about the weight. I believe everything is going to be right with the champ. We're going to get the revised, the reinvented, motivated, vicious, relentless champ. And he's going to go in there and get his green belt back. Now, I would be lying to you to tell you I don't have a conspiracy as to, how the WBC has been showing their hand. It's just a part of me up here believing that some type of sabotage. I'm not saying that somebody gonna fly in through the roof or something on a parasail or something. I don't know. It's just I said it in the rematch because I just felt that the WBC was trying to get that belt off Wilder so they can have a big match between Joshua and Fury. That's why I said Team Wilder just need to be perfect on the 9th, the week of the 9th. They need to just make sure everything is covered. It's going to be tough. And make sure no infiltrators are on deck. No one infiltrates. They can't afford. They have to be perfect when it comes to their vigilance that night. Because I think that fight right there, if they can sabotage you the second time, they will. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, it's going to be more to talk about with Deontay Wilder and going in there with Tyson Fury for the trilogy October 9th. And I want y'all to stay tuned. But hey, I appreciate y'all for pulling up. I wasn't going to plan on staying on long tonight, But do me a favor, hit the like button while you're in here. If you choose to donate, that's cool. For those of you that rock with the channel, that's cool. But we're gonna keep on cooking on this on another day. I just want to touch bases on some fairly okay news. It's not that old, but his virtual presser. I just wanted to bring up Anthony Joshua of all people, and I'm definitely trying to get an interview with somebody on here to give us some clarity about another fight. If you watch my lives, you pretty much can figure out who I'm talking about. So I'm waiting for him to get back and get back with me, and I'm gonna try to get some answers for y'all. You know what I'm saying, with this interview. But check out Money Brown TV. He did an interview tonight with Richard Schaefer. Shout out to Money Brown TV. Having Richard Schaefer on. He was talking about Canelo Alvarez and a surplus of other fighters. Y'all be sure to subscribe to Money Brown TV, everything boxing. Check out Drew Titan. He had a very informative live. He's been breaking down the Tyson Fury debacle and certain things that's going on with that guy. So check out Drew Titan's live, and definitely check out all the lives that's been going on in the graveyard with BFTB, speaking about the Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence situation. Analytics is everything, right? Itemizing, breaking it down, PowerPoint presentations. Y'all go over there and check them cats out, man. 78, the LDBC and all those cats. Go over there and check it out. Blue Blood, all those. We got Kono Local Sports. You got L-Dub Boxing. It ain't nothing for me to shout another channel out that's doing what they do. You know what I'm saying? And check out Pac-Man ATL channel, man. His channel is doing great. He's Team Bomb Squad. You know what I'm saying? An actual physical member. So make sure y'all check out that channel also. And you know what it is, man. Till next time, I'm out.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 inch for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster.